isn't Dot Connor hack detective. She uses the internet to solve mysteries.
There was no way my day was gonna go well. And you're not going to believe what happened.
Hey Movie Guide, it's me Kaylee, and today we are joined by Gili Gould. Now Gili is starring in the new film, Dot Connor, Webtective. So with Dot Connor, Webtective, can you tell us about the plot, what's happening, what is going on with Dot Connor in this movie?
Of course. So Dot left off from the series. She gets a mysterious call from her father, which we have not met yet. And he seems to sound in trouble. So moving on, flash forward, she's starting high school. So at the same time, she's navigating starting her high school journey and just what that looks like to be around a new group of people. But she's also with her friends, of course. And she's also trying to figure out what's wrong with her dad, where he is, and why he needs her. So, yeah.
Oh, are there any similarities between you and Dot?
Yeah, I think Dot and I are both very curious. And we both have a very strong sense of justice. Dot is always sticking up for the underdog, and yeah, I think she's always looking to give someone a chance. And yeah, I think the perfect word for her is just, I think it would be someone who just fights for the little guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. I got to talk to, I was talking to Lauren earlier today, and I was like, you both seem so cool. This seems like such a fun set to be on. What were some of your favorite moments while filming, or memories?
Wow. So we began the series in 2020, and so that was when I first met the cast. So we've known each other for about 5 years now. So honestly, every day on set is genuinely like being with your best friends. That's the only way that I can describe it. Every day we're making jokes. We had a lot of bloopers. And even when we were doing more serious scenes or doing scenes that weren't full of action, which you'll see, we were still having so much fun just with each other, just cracking up at all times.
Was there a particular scene that was especially fun to film, like looking back on?
Honestly, any of the scenes that are in Dot's bedroom are really focused on the relationships that she has with her best friends, Michaela and Alex. And it felt so natural filming those. And it felt more like a conversation instead of just reading lines. So those were definitely some of my favorite.
Are there any behind the scenes stories that fans would love to hear?
Lauren is going to be so upset that I'm calling her out on this, but we're actually, I think it's in the trailer, there is a scene inside of a church. And during one of the scenes in there, our friend who plays Alex, he kept doing this thing that was not scripted at all. When he was thinking, he would make these noises with his mouth, and it was almost, we never saw it coming, first of all, because we had no idea he was going to do this. And it was just so off the top of his head. And it was so natural for him to do. It was just really caught us off guard at first. And every time he would do it, Lauren and I would bust out laughing. And actually, in the movie, one of the takes that they picked, you can see Lauren break just a little bit. So keep your eyes out. In one of the church scenes, you will literally see Lauren break character, and her face is right on screen. So you kind of see her bite back a smile a little bit, but it kind of works with her character. But yeah, it was hilarious. We had to do so many takes to just cut out the laughter that we kept having.
I love Easter eggs like that, especially okay, when I go and watch it, I'm gonna specifically be looking for that scene. I'm like, okay, there's gonna be a noise and then there's gonna be a break. I see it, I'm waiting for it. This film, it blends mystery and technology, and it has strong faith themes throughout the movie. What part of that message resonated with you the most?
Yeah, so I think going back to what I said about how I wish I would have had a movie like this growing up, I think a lot of Christian films that I watched VeggieTales, I watched Prince of Egypt, things like that were all, first of all, common theme, they're all animated. Second of all, they're all Bible stories. So I think Dot and this film really just makes Christianity fun, and it gives you kind of a different perspective on the life of Christians. You know, I think when you think of a normal, or no, I don't want to say normal, a typical Christian life, you think of someone who is reading their Bible all the time, someone who visits church multiple times a week, volunteering, or, you know, doing typical good deeds. And I think that Dot, she shows what it's really like to be a Christian, especially at the age that our target audience is, and also going into high school. I think that she shows that you can have fun and you can also use the Bible for real world issues that aren't, you know, love thy neighbor and honor thy father and mother, things like that. Not that those just commandments aren't important and also are very much incorporated in the series. I just think that Dot shows that Christianity is not just following a set of rules, it's having fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love that. I really hope that audiences, like you said, like the target audience that watch this, because I wish I had this when I was younger. Being able to see, you know, a girl my age and navigating the world, and that your faith is a part of it, that it's not kind of segregated into Sundays, or, you know, that it's a part of your life, it's a part of your world. Did working on this project impact your faith at all?
Definitely. I think it not only, well, first of all, being on a Christian set is a totally different experience than being on a typical set, which a lot of people wouldn't think. And maybe I just got insanely lucky with the cast and the crew that I had. I loved them. It was such a safe and welcoming environment. But we're constantly checking in on each other. You know, we would pray after really long days and things like that. But on a flip perspective, just post-production, I'm going into college, and I think Dot and just being a role model for these kids has definitely put me in a position that I need to hold myself accountable to. I think that, especially starting college at a large university, the typical college life does not necessarily align with my values. And it can be very tempting, and that's normal. And I've accepted that I am going to be tempted. It's whether or not I give into that. And I think just having this platform and just, again, being this role model that I want these little girls to look up to, that I wish I had, it has put me in a place where I can keep myself accountable, and I can think about what I would want to see and what I wish that they would hear and things like that.
Yeah, I love that. So if there's a young girl or boy watching, and they're kind of going through the same thing that you're going through, you know, maybe they're going into middle school and there's some temptations that they're going to come across, or high school, and there's some temptations that they want to stay away from, or they want to, you know, guard themselves against. What would you say to them if they're asking, like, okay, how do I stay grounded in my faith in a world of so many distractions, or, you know, the social media, there's so many vices out there? There's so much that I want to say, honestly. But to narrow it down, I would say surround yourself with people that share the same values as you, and people that share the same interests as you. I think there's a verse in the Bible that talks about whatever enters your heart, like your heart, whatever enters your body, like that's what you kind of portray, and that's the words that you speak. And so definitely surround yourself with good people. And secondly, don't follow a strict set of rules. I think a lot of times, definitely when I was going into middle school and high school, I was so focused on being a good kid. And so I was like, okay, I need to read my Bible at this time every single day. I need to make sure I go to church on Wednesdays and Sundays, you know? And I think that's so easy because you want to be a good kid and you want to keep yourself aligned in the right direction. But I think when you start to set up these rules for yourself, it almost becomes, your Christian life becomes checking some boxes instead of reading your Bible because you want to, or reading your Bible because you need to. So not necessarily trying to put rules on yourself, but I think just opening your heart to God, and just kind of, He's going to direct you into the directions that you need to go to. And
when you don't put those rules on yourself, the Bible becomes so much more fun to read, you know, instead of like a normal textbook where you have to read this many pages by this certain day, you know. In school, that's definitely something that happens. So you don't want to mix that with such a beautiful book that he's given us, that's almost like a love letter to us, that just directs us in our life, but also does not dictate our life.
Connor Webtective comes out September 19th. Mark your calendars, book your calendars too. Book your tickets. That's what you do.
Go get some tickets, fill the theaters. I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Yes, thank you so much, Gili. It was so nice talking to you.
Thank you for having me. I really had a great time.
That is the video. Thanks so much for watching. If you want more content like this, head over to movieguide.org. Movieguide is a nonprofit organization, and we are supported every day by viewers like you.